Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, July the 9th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. I want to first start off by taking a look to see how the indices closed the session today, folks. The Dow Jones closed up a little over 75 points here. The Nasdaq closed up close to 19.5 points, and the S&P 500 closed up close to 12 points. If we take a look at the breadth on the market today, we had 4,263 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 1,845 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. Therefore, breadth was in favor for the bulls today. Close to a 3-to-1 basis there. If you take a look at the stocks making new highs, we also had 693 issues making new highs on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 69 issues making new lows. So today was a decent day. The breadth was all right. It wasn't a very crazy breadth day, but it was better than yesterday. Yesterday we had a kind of a one-to-one mix. Today you can see the bulls, took the ball with stride today and ran it up to the top side. We're still getting that. If you take a look at the SPY chart here, the S&P 500 ETF, which closed up $1.18, up 0.72%. You can see we're still getting that gappy action that we've been getting for the past 2 weeks. We're just gapping higher, and that's really not healthy. I mean, you really want to see at least some nice wide range candles where people could participate in some of these trades. They're making it to the point where you either have to buy these equities and hold them to really catch that nice movement in the market. So we're tracking this action. Again, the volume on this upside action that we've been getting here has been to the weak side compared to the selling pressure that came in. But it is our 1, 2, 3, fourth consecutive day higher. And we are, I would say, a little bit overbought right here, coming all the way from 156 all the way to 165 here in a short amount of time. All right, and we're coming right into this key resistance area from the sell-off that happened here. All right, around this 166 area. So tomorrow, if we were to gap up a little bit more and have some trouble trying to break back above 166, that would be a great opportunity to take some profits off and to possibly put some shorts on in some stocks that have not been able to rally with the market the past couple weeks here. All right, so levels to watch tomorrow. The key levels to watch tomorrow. Let me zoom in here for you guys. 166 from these highs and all this little congestion we had back here. Levels to watch the downside, you want to work off of today's lows and then this 163 half area, which comes from this gap window from the gap we had right there. All right, if you take a look at the ES action here, the ES is chugging along here ever since we were able to hold above this key trend line that I noted to you guys. All right, right here, you can see we were holding this trend line all last week. Then we finally got some momentum, and now they've rallied the market back up. We just about hit 1650 today. The ES is at this resistance area. So we want to see how this trades overnight going into tomorrow's session. If we break above 1650 and we're holding a nice bid above 1650 going into tomorrow's session, then the next level you want to watch is going to be up here around 1660. But you can see again we're above all these key short-term moving averages, and we're starting to get some momentum in some key names. We'll take a look at some of those here shortly. Let's take a look at the triple Qs, the Nasdaq 100 ETF. It was up 44 cents, up a little over 0.5%. Again, as long as we can continue to hold above this key trend line that we have right here, that comes from. Let me show you where it comes from again here. Comes from all this action we had right there. You see that? See how it's acting real important? That key trend line on the very top, kind of like the top of the channel there. All right. So as long as we can continue to hold above that level, all right, which is around 72.50, we're going to be expecting the triple Qs to start making their way up towards these highs right here. All right, or touch those highs around, say, 73, 75 or so. If we get some selling pressure tomorrow, we have some decent support from the trend line, which also lines up with these key moving averages that are coming up around the 72 half level, which also lines up with this little price action of kind of those semi-support that we have down here around that 72 half level, all right? If we take a look at the IWM, which again made new all-time highs today. All right, we've been talking about the Russell 2000 being the go-to index to trade if the broad market indices start to rally together. And you can see here that the Russell 2000 is leading the market to the top side, followed by the Dow, the S&P, then the Nasdaq. So we're getting some nice traction. And since I talked about the Dow real quick here, let's take a look at the Dow futures, or you can take a look at the DIA. All right, the Dow Jones ETF, which is not too far away from making all-time highs itself. All right, so DIA was up well, it was up 77 cents a day, up 0.5% or so, and they're looking pretty good. Again, we had a nice little broad market rally today across the different sectors, which is what you want to see for a bullish market that's moving back to the highs. All right, let's take a look at the volatility index, the VIX. All right, no fear in the market today. All right, we gapped down, rallied up a bit, but then they were able to close it on the lows. Um, the volatility in the markets, it's a little bit there. There's definitely some back and forth opportunities where you can short some stocks, get long some stocks. It's definitely there. If we see this VIX break back below this congestion we had right here, back below 1350, that's when you probably could get a little bit more risk on action in some of these names, and try to maybe get some more risk on in your portfolio. As if that was to happen, the markets probably would be back at their highs. All right. And again, if you didn't have the opportunity to buy the dip 2 weeks ago, that's not a problem. You can still find some stocks out there that are breaking out of bases, that are setting up for some nice momentum breakouts if the market continues to roll higher. And then again, if the market was not to go higher, we do have some stocks out there that are showing some relative weakness to the current market action as well, and those would be the stocks to hit. So that's how that's looking. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar index to see what the dollar index did today. All right, the dollar index was strong a little bit here. We're continuing to make new highs in the dollar. However, the basic material sector is not really phasing this dollar strength right now. All right, the basic material stocks are still making a nice move up. We had some fall through action in some of those code names that we told you guys to watch this morning, and then yesterday's after the bell market summary video that gave a nice little pop in the morning, gave you some cash flow opportunities there. But the dollar index is strong. The euro was weak today. I'm not even going to look at the euro. If we take a look at the commodities now, starting off with crude oil. I like to take a look at crude oil futures instead of the USO. Crude oil was up $1.44 today. It's about 104, guys. Again, if you've been paying attention to the videos, we've been talking about this crude oil move to come, and it is finally coming to fruition here. If you were able to, if you're able to get a good entry in this here, if it doesn't pull back, then participate in the trend, because the trend is looking pretty strong here, and that could be a little bit dangerous if it starts to break out to the point where we start feeling that pain at the pump, and some of our buying power that we have with our discretionary income that's going towards our Starbucks coffees, our retail, buying those new pair of shoes that you wanted, or taking your family to vacation. Well, you're not going to be able to use that money anymore because it's going to be going towards your gas tank and stuff. So you want to make sure you keep an eye on some of these sectors that are sensitive to higher crude prices, and start developing maybe some trade ideas there, which we'll have some for you guys over the weekend once we do some more research and see what stocks are starting to show some weakness to this rise in crude oil, if any of them are out there, which I'm pretty sure there are. So crude oil is looking pretty good. We'll take a little quick look at the USO, since I know some of you guys out there that like to trade these ETFs or are participating in the crude oil, be the USO. The next resistance target here on the USO is going to be around 37.18. Another clue that I want to show you guys here, if you take a look at this chart, this kind of looks like a little inverse head and shoulders pattern as well, as you can see. All right, so the neckline breakout was around 35, and if you take the measured move, I would say, well, call it 34.5. You take the measured move from 34.5 to 31, you're talking about $3.50. $3.50 plus the 34.50 will take us to 38, which means this ETF still has about $1.30 on the table for profit if it gets there. All right, not of course, taking into consideration that we have some resistance coming up right here around 37.18, which is about 40 cents away. All right, so let's take a look at gold. All right, gold had a little update today as well. Was up about 14 bucks or so, and it's trying to get back above this 1260 here. If we can get above 1260 and then get above this 1278 level, which comes from this little breakdown of resistance, which also lines up with the declining 20-day moving average, which we've been hanging below for quite some time now. If we could get above that and stabilize above that, that would be a good sign that gold is going to try to possibly make a bounce back up towards those 1350s. And again, we're not really bullish on gold at all until it could get back above 1350 and stabilize, and then we'll be looking for some nice little trend entry to try to get back in that trend. But until then, until we get back above 1350, these rallies could be shorted, and that's kind of why we're really just staying away from the sector and participating in other sectors that have a little bit more momentum behind them, like the technology stocks and some of these energy stocks. Okay, so that's how gold is looking. We could take a quick look at the GLD. Again, since some of you guys like to look at the GLD to track the gold. All right, this is a little bit more choppy. The futures are providing more trading opportunities. If you're interested in trading gold, I think the futures will be the best vehicle to use right now, as you'll be able to track it and trade it overnight and all that stuff when the real moves happen in it. But anyways, GLD above 122 will look a little bit interesting. Could make a move up towards 124, maybe to touch this declining 20-day moving average right here that we have, the 20 EMA and the SMA. All right, if we take a look at copper real quick, I want to take a look at the copper futures. Copper futures were weak today. I'm not sure if they bounced. Well, yeah, you can see here they bounced off that low. So trying to carve out a little base down here around 305. Remember, if we're looking at global growth actually taking place in the global economy, which I'm not, based on my opinion, I don't think it is. But if it is, we really want to see copper move up with that crude oil. All right, to show us that these global commodities are kind of picking up some demand in them. If we take a look at silver, which did nothing yesterday, let's see what it did today. Same thing today. Not the commodity or not the yeah, pretty much not the commodity that you want to be invested in right now. Again, these precious metals are still on our stay away list, as there you can find some alpha in some different sectors, some different names that are trading much better, much cleaner, where you can read the price action much better. And that's how it looks for the commodities. So we went over the indices, we went over the commodities, we went over the VIX, we went over some currency action. Let's go and take a look at some key stocks. And again, I'm going to start off with Amazon, because Amazon continues to perform to the top side, making all-time highs here. Again, our target on Amazon for the top of the channel that you can find on the monthly chart is up towards 318. We think this is going to be a outperforming stock, at least here for the third quarter, and they have earnings coming out on the 25th. Keep this one on your radar. Again, I believe it's a buy the dip opportunity intraday. Of course, warrant market conditions for that day. You want to make sure you take them into consideration. Google, let's take a look at Google. All right, these big cap tech stocks are still hanging in there. Google near the top of the range, not too far for the all-time highs, which is right here around 920. You could take a look at IBM, see what IBM did today. I think they were in the news today. Yeah, IBM got smashed down on some news. I'm not sure what the news was, but IBM is a large cap tech stock that you want to stay away from. All right, they have other ones out there that look much better. Tesla, a nice momentum stock that a lot of traders on our desk have been trading. This is a decent stock as well. It has some nice momentum into it. Here, they had some news come out this morning regarding the fact that they're going to get added to the Nasdaq. So the stock did gap up. Now, I got a lot of people out there that I know that are trying to short this stock. I don't know why, but again, I wouldn't short this stock until it really shows you signs of weakness. Until then, stick with the trend. If you don't have a good entry, you miss an entry on the chart here, then don't even trade it, because again, this could be a stock that you wake up one morning it's gapping down from some downgrade or some news. So again, you really want to be careful if you're trading that one up here at these levels here, if you were not able to participate at lower prices. We had some action in Apple today. Apple was up 1.75%. Again, this one holding above that 420 level and building some type of base up here will be pretty good. Apple looks like a nice buy over today's highs, and looks like it may want to go back up towards these 430s here. Okay, the energy sectors continues to give some nice returns there. Schlumberger up $1.75 today. They have earnings coming out on the 19th, which I believe is next week. Yeah, next week they have earnings. And this stock is looking pretty good. Looks like it wants to run up here towards 78. So some of these energy stocks, you need to put them on your radar. You had CBX, you had ExxonMobil. Let's take a look at these energy names right here, these large integrated energy companies. ExxonMobil, has been on our radar as well ever since it broke above this nice little downward channel. Again, these downward channels, these downward trend lines, you got to watch them. If you miss a breakout entry, then try to get involved on the back test. The back test does provide you with a great opportunity to get a low risk trade. All right, and now it's all the way up here, and now it's going to give a breakout that we'll be watching for tomorrow above this 93, call it 93.35, 93.50 area. Actually, today's highs was 93.44, so we'll be looking for a breakout over 93.50, and the target would be up here towards, actually over 93.65 is what we want to look for, the highs that we made back here in October. So over 93.65, we can get some traction. And then if this stock breaks over 95, this thing could really get going here. So keep an eye on ExxonMobil. The energy sector is definitely showing us some strength. So we want to keep a close eye on that sector. Chevron. All right, Chevron doesn't look as good as ExxonMobil, but it's catching up. It'll be a nice little buy candidate over today's highs if it picks up some momentum, and there's some nice bids in that stock there. FedEx, the transport sector was strong today. FedEx had some news out this morning regarding Bill Ackman. I believe he's making a $1 billion fund, and he's thinking about putting FedEx into the fund, so that provided a nice little pep in his step today. And this stock was just on fire, along with UPS. Now, it had a crazy wide range day today. I'm pretty sure we'll have a nice little opportunity tomorrow. You could buy the dip on if it was a dip down. Wait for some nice support, some nice bids to come in. But keep these stocks on your radar. They have some momentum in them. Some traders are trading those stocks right there. The banks, again, the banks are on fire. Bank of America up 1.88% today. It had some nice fall through today. Looks like it wants to go back up towards these highs, up towards 14. JP Morgan, not so interesting. Morgan Stanley had a nice day today. Morgan Stanley was up 2.25% here, and Morgan Stanley over 25.50 has a nice gap fill action up here towards 26.25. So the financials are in play. The energy stocks are in play. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, guys. Industrial stocks were good today. John Deere. John Deere had a nice move today. We're going to be looking at this one for some more fall through. It looks like it has a little bit of more room before it hits that 200-day moving average. Caterpillar. Caterpillar had some action today as well. You see CAT. This one had a nice little bounce up. It's going to have some trouble trying to break over these moving averages, but again, some nice action in the names today. One sector that we've been tracking that's picking up some momentum as well are the agriculture stocks here that are trying to get back above some key levels. For example, Monsanto is trying to get back with this key 98 level that it was holding back here for the earlier part of the year. Did a little shakeout last week, but now it's back above it. Keep an eye on this stock. Has some nice volume trying to come in there. It could make its way back up towards the top of that little area around 104. We're watching that stock. We're also watching CF. All right, all these agriculture stocks are starting to catch a bit down here, so we want to watch them. CF looks a little bit interesting as well too. Looks like it's going to try to make a push up back up towards these 187.50s or so. Let's take a little quick look at the coal stocks. They did get a little bit of follow through today. They didn't get the wide range buy that we were looking for, but they did provide some nice intraday opportunities. Today we were trading BTU. WLT gave you nice action. They bounced off. They moved off the open a little bit fast, but they did provide one little buy the dip opportunity intraday, which could have created some cash flow for you if you're looking to get some money in your account today. These were the stocks to trade as well. And then before I leave out here with this video, Yahoo, nice move today. This one looks pretty interesting. You can see it was in this nice little upward channel from back here in February. If we could get back above that nice little channel, we could get back in the channel. All right, pretty much back above 27. This thing could really take off. They have earnings coming out, I believe, next Tuesday, so keep this one on watch. Aside from that, folks, have a great day. If you have not been to the website yet, check it out, wallstreettrading.com. If you're interested in joining our prop firm, contact me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com. If you're a retail trader and you don't know if prop trading is for you, I could discuss the details with you and explain to you the pros and cons of the business, and maybe it would be for you. So check it out, and that's about it, folks. Have a great day. Cheers.